Recently, I tried to Dockerize a full stack web application which uses NextJs, Prisma, and MongoDB. So, in this tutorial, I will show you how I did it and the things I learned.
All right. So the first step is we need to create a Docker file inside our full stack project. So we have right click and let's create Docker file. So inside this Docker file, we are going to add all the steps that we are going to do to create an image. So first of all, we are going to install or add a node installation to our Docker. So this is how we are going to do that. We are going to specifically tell the version 18 Alpine, and we are giving a name for this section as well as builder. So we are using environment variables inside the project. So we are going to uh, use them when we are building the project. So to do that, we are going to set the environment variables like this argument database URL, and then we are uh, assigning this argument to the env variable that we are using inside the project uh, to this database URL here. And what we are going to do is when you are building the project, when you are running docker run command, we are going to assign this value to this database URL so it can be used when the project is building. Like this is the builder step. So in the builder step, we are going to build the project using npm run build, and then we have the production step. In that step, we will be copying these build files, and then we will run the project using npm run start. So in the builder step, next we will install some dependencies. To do that, we will use this command run. So these are bash commands. So in here we are installing Python 3, make, G++. So this will help to do the build process properly, because some Node.js needs like Python 3, make, and these packages to do the build properly. Next, we are going to set the working directory for the application. So this is the command we are going to do to set the working directory, workdir /app. So the working directory is set to /app. And then what you are going to do is first we will copy our package.json file in the local machine to the Docker instance. So to do that, we'll use the copy command. So this will copy the package, all the package.json, including the package lock.json to the root, or else to this app folder inside Docker. Next, we can use copy command to copy rest of the files like this. So this will copy all the files inside our source folder to the uh, Docker file location. And next, what we are going to do is we are going to install the node modules using uh, npm install, but we are doing npm ci. This is called clean install, right? So this will install exactly what's mentioned in the package.log file. We copied the file, everything is from the source file to the Docker, then we do an npm install, and then we are doing the npm run build, right? So that's it. That's what happens in the builder steps. So we copied the files, we installed the node modules, and then we did npm run build. And now let's go to the stage 2. Let's call it production stage, right? This is the production stage. In that stage also, we are going to install node version. So once we set from node to uh, an specific version, then it's a clean install. Like in here also we have app folder, but now it's empty. So this is a separate section. and this is a separate section. In this stage also, we are going to set the working directory to the app, and also I have added an additional command. It's called volume. Here what happens is it sets a persistent storage. Persistence means this storage will not delete once the image is not in use, or else when the image is unmounted. If a separate container needs this storage, we can share it. So that's the use of persistent uh, storage in the Docker. So specifically for this project, we don't need that, but I'm added it just to improve the knowledge on the capabilities of Docker. So after setting up this working directory as app, then as usual, we are going to copy some files. We are going to copy the build files from the previous steps. So this is how we can do that. And then we are going to do an npm install. But in here, we are going to install only the production packages, because we are in the production mode. We don't need dev dependencies. We are installing production dependencies here. And then we are going to expose the port that we are going to use. We are going to use port 3000 to expose our NextJs application. This is how we do it. And then and finally, we are going to define the default command to run the application. So now we have copied the build files, and also we have installed dev dependencies. Then we can run npm run start. Instead of npm run dev, I do npm run start because this is a production stage. So this is how we can define the default command here. So other than that, if we want to do a health check, we can use this command to do the health check. So this will do some request for our port in 30 seconds interval, and we can do a health check. If we want to delete some files, for example, once the build file is complete, we don't need this uh, app folder inside our project. I will add that in here. So we set the work directory to the app, and then inside the app we have all these files and folders, and we set the work directory to app, and then we remove using rmrf this app folder here. I will paste the entire Docker file that I used, including the comments, and you can get the access to this file as well. So this is everything with the comments, and learn, as you can use this as a learning material. And next we will create the Docker image, and then we will run our Docker image. And also don't forget to add a Docker ignore file. So we can create a Docker ignore file from here, and then we can paste the files that we need to ignore when we are copying this when you're copying our source files. For example, in here, when we use copy and when we try to copy everything, the files in the Docker ignore will be ignored. All right, so our Docker instance is running properly. And now I will go through the command that I'm going to use to create the Docker image. This is the command that I'm going to use to build the Docker file. So here it's called Docker build, and here I'm going to pass the environment variables that I need to build the project, and then at the end I have the name as a tag value that I'm going to pass to the as the name of the Docker image. So this will ignore the comments in my .env file in here, and also it will pass uh, environment variables key and value as an argument in this command. So that's what this section of the code does. Let's run the command on git bash. Right click, paste it. Let me remove the command here. And now it will build our Docker image. After successfully creating the Docker image, we can run our Docker image using Docker run, and then we do the port bindings, and then we give the image name. All right, now our application is running successfully. If we go to the application and if we try to hit the endpoint using API get users, and now you can see the database connection is properly working and our environment variables have been properly set to the image. And that's how you can properly Dockerize a full stack Next.js application.